Hi, everyone. A very good evening and a warm welcome to the session as we explore the synergies between chess and the business strategies. And thank you for waiting patiently with us and extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused as we are like 15 minutes delay, but hope we will catch up. And thank you for joining with us, even we are experiencing some kind of power failures. So chess is known to be a mind game, and we know that it is very close to strategic thinking. And it is said that chess is the art of analysis. But have we explored the true similarities and the way that we can use these chess theories, the experience that we have in the real world businesses and also in our personal lives? So this is the objective of this webinar series. And today we are starting the first webinar of this series. So I'm Pramoda Senanayake, the host for today. And let me warmly welcome the speakers, our invited speakers for today, as well as the president of the Chess Federation of Sri Lanka and all those who are joining with us. As we proceed, let me introduce our speakers today. We have very special speakers, two dynamic business leaders, as well as great chess players. So the first speaker today, he is having 25 plus years of experience in chess and has schooled at Dharmasukha College, Ambalangoda. And also, he graduated from University of Moratuwa, and he has a peak rating of 1,960 and has played National A in 2009. He started his profession at Virtusa and then moved on to 99X as well as EdTech Group. And now he has formed his own venture, and now he is the chairman as well as the director of COSET. So a warm welcome to Mr. Samira Gunasinghe.
Thank you, Pramodya. Hi, everyone.
And then we have our second speaker. He has almost 20 plus years of experience in chess with a peak rating of 1,957. And he has been the national majors champion in 2006. And also mercantile equal champion in 2016. He is a school colorsman and senior chess team captain at St. Joseph's College. And currently, he is the director and CEO of Transco Digital, a multiple award-winning marketer, as well as Young Digital Marketing Professional of the Year in Global Customer Engagement Awards 2021. And we warmly welcome Mr. Dinesh Silva as our second speaker.
Thank you, Pramodya. Thank you for having me. Thank you, and the Chess Federation of Sri Lanka.
Right. So before we begin with the panel discussion, we have a very special person here with us today who have made all of these possible. We have our president of the Chess Federation of Sri Lanka, Mr. Lakshman Vijaysurya. Sir, as a welcome to everyone, I think we would like to hear from you. Sir, excuse me, you are muted.
Yeah, good evening, all of you. Thank you, Pramodya, for inviting me. Actually, as Chess Federation, so far, we were doing chess. So I'm really thankful to Pramodya, one of our vice presidents now, who is in, leading company. She suggested us that we should go to certain paths. So that actually has taken by our colleagues. So I'm very thankful to Pramodya for bringing this idea to discuss about how the business leaders who have been engaged in chess can support for the development of the game, as well as so how they came to that position, or in the path how chess supported them becoming the business leaders. So I take this opportunity to thank Samira Gunasinghe and Mr. Dinesh Silva. Both of them were chess players. Even they have played with me when I was playing. So thank you very much for taking your valuable time. We know that both of you are very busy. So invitation of Pramodya brought you all here. So it's a great support for chess that you agreed to support this program this year, this time. So I'm not going to take much time because, you know, the idea of the program is to get the ideas of our business leaders. So I again thank everyone who supported this program. I hope the program will continue. Thank you, Pramodya, for your ideas as well as starting the program. So you can carry on. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir, for those kind words. And yes, you have always been a supportive pillar for us at any time when we start something new at Chess Federation. Right, so now it's a time to discuss with our panelists and our guest speakers today. So they have a very successful story to share in terms of business as well as in chess. So now I would like to invite them to share a bit about their journey in chess as well as in business and how the game has influenced them to approach successful business decisions. So first of all, we would like to hear from Samira.
Yeah, thanks, Pramodya. And first of all, I would like to thank, of course, the idea is from Pramodya and well supported by Chess Federation Sri Lanka. So thank you very much for having me in this conversation and allowing me to share my experiences and ideas about the subject being discussed. So yeah, I'll be trying to be efficient with the time because we got late because of unavoidable circumstances. So I'll start with my chess journey. Right. So I started playing in 1996, if I remember correct. I was 13 years old back then. This was introduced. I live in Ambalangoda. I went to Dharmasa College back then, and there's another school called Devananda College. They are the one who started chess first, and my brother went there. He was the one who learned chess before me, and he was my first coach. He was the one who taught me. And from there onwards, I was so fascinated about that one. I tried a lot of other sports, but none of those things actually, I did not go too far with any of those things. So that's how the journey began. From there onwards, for large part of my school time, actually, it was not a game that was well supported by the school because it was very new and we did not have any achievement to show for that one as well. And after I left this, of course, I had a couple of like individual level performances where I won a couple of board prizes, and it did not go beyond that, unfortunately. After I left school, I got selected to University of Morocco to follow my degree. And I actually, during the break I had between A-levels and the university, I did some coaching to my school as a thanking gesture for everything they have given. So this opened up a lot of other things for me, especially dealing with people, like forming a team, like organizing things. So the skills that I did not have. And that carried to the other parts of my my education and chess as well. And during the university time, I did a lot of coaching. Actually, I balanced it out. So real break happens after I left the university as well. So I had some success in university. During my 4 years, I was part of the team that won 2 of the titles as part of the University of Morocco team, men's team. And after that, I invested more time right at the beginning of my career, invested a lot of time in chess, and I got selected to nationals in 2009. And I was placed 9th in that tournament, and national staff, you know, right? So as a person who has not been like really like a shining star during the school time, so that was a big achievement. So afterwards, I actually focused more on career, but chess was never something that I gave up. I still play chess, not as competitive as I used to play after COVID especially, but until COVID, we played national, this Super League, Interclub, those kind of things. So it is a big part of my life, to be honest. Then career-wise, I graduated in 2007. Started with virtual as a software engineer. I did software engineering at University of Monaco. Then I spent 12 years at 99X. This is a company actually that I spent most of my career, and they supported chess massively. Even at the mercantile level, we sponsored a couple of tournaments as well. And the leadership supported chess, and we had a lot of internal tournaments. And they saw the importance of that one, and most important thing was the larger customer base was in Norway. So Norway, of course, everybody knows it's Magnus Carlsen's country, and it's a strange country. They have a live TV for chess, so it's very well received in the country. So every customer, they knew that chess is a good thing for everyone. So they also requested us to carry on, and we played some friendly matches with our customers as well. So that was the most interesting part in 99X. Then I continued to another company, spent there 2.5 years. Of course, during my time in that company, I formed the company together with 4 other partners. So that's how Kosan started. And yeah, here we are at this point. So that's my journey. I think we have a lot of other things to discuss in those segments. I'll explain a bit more details about what helped me get where I am. But in essence, just definitely helped me to get where I am. So that's my story so far. Yeah, probably back to you.
Yes, thanks a lot, Samira. Yes, it's really interesting to know about the Norwegian chess as well. I'm sure that you experienced it a lot, and it will benefit Sri Lanka as well. Right, now let's turn to our next speaker, Dinet. We would also like to hear from you about the chess journey as well as the business journey.
Yeah, so my chess journey is more of a accident, I would say. So when I was 7 years old, back at Isipadana College, so one of the teachers came to our classroom and asked, who wants to join the chess class? So I just heard the sound of it, and I thought, okay, I will raise my hand and I will join. And 2 days after, I joined the class, and I didn't understand anything. And so that time my mother was with me, and she was looking through the window, and she was learning chess before me. And so when I get home, so she used to taught me the game. And so I started like that. But after 7 years, like, I didn't play any competitive chess at that time. So after, like, I knew how to play chess, but didn't continue for tournaments. But when I was 12 years old, Mrs. Sunita Vijaysude came to the college and did some seminars. And at that time, our principal was Mr. Upali Gunasekara. He was a chess player as well. So he used to play chess.
I think we are experiencing some kind of a signal issue. So yes. So until this is recovered, let's move on to Samira. Yes, is Dinet back?
No, I think Dinet is experiencing something by the looks of
yes, he has informed. Yes, Samira. Yes. So now let's move on. Okay. So as I think both of you have a journey to celebrate in terms of chess as well as in business. Now we all know chess is a game. This is what we have heard about. Chess is a game, and chess is a sport as well. Because in terms of other sports, we have heard about leadership, teamwork, as well as personal development. So is it really possible to apply these kind of scenarios, leadership, teamwork, as well as personal development in chess? I think, Samira, you will explain on this for us.
Yeah, so this is a subject I have been thinking about for a long time. I think this is in many forums. The people argue that whether chess is a game or a sport, right? So or both. And what I hear from most of the other people is some of the people I have spoken outside the chess circle, whether you have the same benefits you have from other sports, right? So of course, I think it is well accepted around the globe that chess is actually beneficial for your education. So this is why it is so successful at the school setup. But what is it beyond that? That was the question a lot of people ask. I get that question even today when I go to my parents meeting at my daughter's school. Parents tend to ask about that. So this is what I think, right? So the idea and the opinion I would like to get across is that it's both for me, right? I think probably we'll have the best of both worlds here. I'll try to explain this through a couple of examples, things that I have observed during my life. Okay, the first thing, when I was coaching at Dharmasa College back in the days, when I started, we had, I think, about 20 students at the school, and it grew in popularity when we produced more and more results, and eventually we had 200 plus students at school. So that's tenfold increase in participation. What I heard from most of the parents is that they had some strange observation, not a strange one, very, very interesting observation, that at Dharmasa College, the person who got highest marks for the scholarship exam is a chess player, continuously, many, many years. So the motivation for the parents was to just get the education right for their kids, right? So they knew that it is practically proven, and they heard that this helps their education, and they just got their sons and daughters to do chess. And once the scholarship exam is done, and that their objective done as well. So I think there no need of more explanation on that one. I think everybody knows that it's benefits to education, and that was proven over and over again at my school time as well. I guess it is the same for everyone. But what about the teamwork? So this is where something that is argued. For example, if you are playing cricket or rugby, like high intensity games like that, you really bond as a team, right? But what is it in chess? It's an individual game, right? Even it's in the team setup, you have 6 board, you have another opponent, you are playing with the one opponent, not with the other 5 people. It's always individual, but how do you develop teamwork in there? So I'll give one example from my university days. This is actually after I left the university. Some of our past players, we continue to support the team over the years. I think Lakshman sir also knows about that. He's being one big part of that as well. There was a period, I'm not going to name any person, right? So there was a period of 4 or 5 years. The biggest rivalry was between University of Moratuwa and University of Peradeniya in the inter-university setup. And University of Moratuwa had by far the strongest team on paper. If you take individual players, they had the strongest team. No other team come even close to us. So it's a foregone conclusion when you go to the tournament that University of Moratuwa wins the tournament by a convincing margin, and you go home happy. That's the expectation usually. But that's not what happened, right? So we got beaten by University of Peradeniya for 2 or 3 consecutive years before we got things right. So what we did the same thing for a couple of years. That is, given that we have very strong players, we practice individually. And when we are closer to the tournament, we get together and do some practices, but hardly any time for us to get to know each other. And we go to the tournament and we win every round except for the Peradeniya round. Even though they had weaker team on paper, they blasted us. That's what happened. So after some time, I actually spoken to a couple of people who were behind the Peradeniya success, and what they said was a completely different story than what we were doing. When it is closer to the tournament, they go to a kind of like some place remote where they stay together as a team, and in that setup they practice. So this allowed them to get to know each other really well. What they said was they know each player, their strengths, their weaknesses. So when it comes to decision making, let's say someone is offered a draw. Shall I take this draw? Can my team win? So when that decision making time comes, they can see all other games and they know that their players are strong in these kind of setups. And they make smarter decisions to win the tournament. And it happened a couple of years before we got it right ourselves. So this is just small example show that you still can play as a team, right? Your team playing as a team is their interest as well. So what I want to get across to everyone is that it has all the educational benefits, that's accepted, but it has all the benefits of a sport as well. Leadership, teamwork, all the things good things we discuss about sports, it's their interest as well. So that's what I want to highlight here.
Thanks a lot, Samir. Yes, I truly agree with you. Actually, you pointed out a very important fact of teamwork, which I also have personally experienced. Even at school, still the teamwork, it means the spirit that we develop is still continuing, and we are still actually carrying that to everywhere that we work. So teamwork is something really beneficial, and also it is something which chess taught us. Thank you. And I think Dinesh is back. Yes.
Yes, Pramod, there.
Okay, Dinesh. So
I'm really sorry
welcome
about
back.
the power cut. Yes, I'm really sorry about the power cut. So this is what we go through in business right now. So all these power cuts, and we had a time. So we will discuss on that. Yes, how
It
can
is
we?
all right.
Yes.
It is all right and totally acceptable. Actually, these are the challenges that we face, and we are trying to find solutions as chess players with this. Right, Dinit. So what we were discussing about was that in terms of leadership, as well as teamwork and personal growth. So what is the contribution that chess has given you?
Yeah, so like I said, so we started playing for the school and, got the team captaincy. So that is somewhere I get to practice my leadership skills as well. And so when we go to tournaments and fight as a team, and you have to make sure your team members are confident enough to face the other teams. And so the same thing happens in business as well. So when you start a business, it's not easy because the most valuable asset is your people, and you have to lead your people right, and you have to give them confidence, and you have to get their 100% or maybe even more than that. So you have to give that leadership right, because any business can run, because if you don't have the right people in your business, I think it's not going to be a good ride. So right now, so chess has helped me to build that team, the core team, and build a culture around it, because the leadership experience we got out of chess is invaluable. So I'm really thankful for that. And I think in business, of course, you have to look at your personal growth as your business's growth as well, because it's all connected. So I think 2 weeks back we had a year-end review system. So the one thing we told them is it's all connected. Like, your personal growth is directly connected to the business growth. So it's very much important. And chess has um, taught us how to improve the game by uh, back in the day we didn't have the internet like we do now. So the resources we had, so you had to find those things and continuously grow yourself to be at the top. And also as a like I said, as a team leader, you have to share the knowledge with your team to be the best team and to win team championships. Of course, you have to have that team. It's just like, running a business. I think I should cover the area we are talking about, right? So yeah.
Yes, Rinette. Thank you very much. And also thank you for bringing the aspect of people, HR aspect actually. So in businesses, it is said that we need to win the employees first before winning the customers. So in this case, how teamwork is effective and how we can get the lessons from chess is really important. Thank you. And now let us move on to Samira. We all know that chess is a combination of calculations, tactics, as well as strategies. So in terms of calculations and tactics used in chess, so how have those helped to translate into business strategies? Because we know these tactics and especially calculations in this dynamic business environment, we need to play with numbers. So in this case, how has this knowledge and experience in chess in terms of calculations and tactics have helped you?
Sure. Yeah. Let me first explain how I weave calculation and tactics in my head. So calculations is, of course, in chess. Yeah, I hope the audience know about these aspects. But just to explain what I think, it's given a position. You analyze it and you pick a couple of possible moves. Let's say it's your opponent's move and possible moves, and from there onwards you start building your decision tree, right? So for different combinations, what do I do? So eventual goal is that I like to come on the top of that. So that's how I see calculation. I see two types of players there. Some are actually very, very precise in their calculation. They would like to have everything calculated to the last point before make a decision. And there are some players who are very intuitive, right? They don't want to be that precise, but they carry the experience. So they have a feel for that one. So they make the decision based on the feel they have. So those are the intuitive players. So that's how I perceive the calculations in chess. And tactics is, of course, the short-term things that we deploy to make sure that we gain an upper hand or advantage in the given position. If you look at this is how we explain chess, but if we don't mention that, the business people would think that we are talking about business. Right? That's the parallel I see. Right? Some of the things we talk about in chess has a great parallel with business as well. So if I explain how these things are used in my life for the beneficial of the business side of things, let's take the calculations part, right? So with that, what we do is we take a position and we analyze it and we make our build our decision tree and we make a decision. So I think one of the most important thing in this part is that you look at the entire board, right? So you take into consideration the placement of each piece on the board when you take your decision. We can't forget about any of those things. So when you translate this to business, so that's actually looking at the big picture, I would say. So what I did in my time in business is that I made sure that the team I have understand the big picture, right? That's only you can make a good decision. Yeah, in business terms, this is called whether you are working on a local optima or the global optima. So that is like whether you're optimizing your solution to a small set of people or for the entire organization. So this is how it helped me. The knowledge I had with chess, looking at the entire board before you making the decision, I brought it directly to the business so that the people we have, they know about the big picture, the entire board, what goals we have, where we are heading. So when we make the decision, the entire team is aligned in terms of what decision we make. Everyone knows that we are working towards that one. So in a chess setup, if you are working, like if you are playing alone, it's probably an easy decision to make, right? So if you make a mistake, the consequences are that you lose the game, and you are the one who's suffering from that one. If it is a team game, of course, it has repercussions in the team level as well. But in a business, the responsibility is much higher. So this is where I see the parallels in terms of tactics. In calculations. When it comes to tactics, so these are the short-term like things that are not long-term. That's the strategies. These are tactics, the short-term solutions we deploy. I'll give you one example. So tactics is actually at the initial phase, you learn about how the pin works, how the fork works, how the double attack, discover attack, those kind of things. And of course, there's a more education around it. Like you know how to make the pin, but how to take advantage of the pin is also taught. So what we did was, now we founded the company in the middle of COVID, and Sri Lanka has gone through a massive thing. So we had one particular problem. What we're experiencing now, we had power cuts. So we are into IT, so power is very important. There we had to take a decision what to do about that. So one decision we made was to give proper power solution to everyone. Very expensive decision. We ran the numbers, but what we did was we have been very tactical about that one. So when we considered power solution, we thought about the extra monitor they have. We are living in Sri Lanka, right? We need to have a fan, otherwise you cannot be productive. So we considered those kind of little details. The solution covered everything. So we made our tactical move. The result is that when we asked from our customers, they said they had no idea whether we are working through a crisis. People start on time, they finish on time, they are very productive. They are happy as well, right? They have time to spend with their family. They don't have to work around the power cuts, those kind of things. So it's a tactical move that actually worked really well in our company. Just one example of many we have in the company. So I'll stop there without taking too much time. So these are the parallels I see in terms of calculation and the tactics in business, and how I made use of that one in my business life.
Thanks a lot, Samira, for those insights. I'm sure the audience really got very valuable insights from that, especially about the big picture. So it is not only the leader who need to see the big picture, it should be communicated across in order to have this goal congruence, I would say. So it was really well mentioned, and also in terms of short-term tactics, how you have applied the learning from the game to the business is really appreciated, and I think we all can learn a lot from that. Thank you. And now let us move on to Dinesh. Yes, Dinesh. So would like to hear from you. Now, we all know as chess players, in the game, we are having opening stage, middle game, as well as end game. So if we focus on the opening and the middle game, so we know that in the opening, we try to develop our pieces and occupy the center, as well as to do the castling like that. And also in the middle game, we search in terms of a better position or else some kind of tactics like that. So how has those, it means in terms of the openings as well as middle game, the strategies which you used in chess have helped you in business?
Yeah. So I think I'll add something to Samira's valuable insights as well. So the take home message for me from this meeting is I should have a proper power system. Looking at the problems we get every day. So if you look at the opening and the middle game of chess game, so the first question is where do you start the chess game, right? So how do we start the chess game? So it just like in a business. So when we see the pairing and we understand, when we recognize who we play against, the opponent, and now what we do is we do a little bit of research. So that is what we used to do. So we look at the rating, we look at the area he's from or she's from, And all these details we used to, as chess players, we do a little research about the players. So same system. So before we start the business, before we come to the opening game, so you have to do a market research. Otherwise, you don't know how the market will react to your product or service. It's very important because you have to check whether your product is a market fit or your service is a market fit. So just like that, the research part is very important in business. So then we come to the opening game. So let's say let's take one example and say you're starting a business. And so these are the business basics. The opening game is about business basics. So you need to have the marketing ready or the branding ready, or you need to have the packaging ready, whatever. Right. So these are the openings. It's more like theory. So that we what we play in the opening game, it's theory, right? So it's most of the players, they follow theory, and you get to a point where you meet the middle game. So I believe the business basics are the opening of a business. So it's much similar to opening game. And just like you said, the middle game is where you decide where you are heading, right? So if you are losing a piece or you are gaining a piece, you are like gaining the advantage. So in business, so the tactical things come in the middle game. So maybe after the first 3 years of business, or maybe after the first 2 years of business, you are coming into a phase where you need to use more tactical stuff, and you need to look at the environment, how the market behavior is treating you, and the new trends. So this is where the middle game is, connected to. You look for your tactics, you look for forks, you look for pins, and you try to gain advantage. So I think business is very much like, playing a chess game. So you do the research, you understand your opponent, and we used to. So I'll give you one example, because when I was playing, so we didn't have the games database of to check the opponent games. So we used to have a kind of a system to understand what will play according to the area. So let's say if we are facing a candy opponent, then we know that okay, he's going to play maybe a d4 or a knight f3, because that's what famous in the candy area. So we used to have our own systems to understand the market or the opponents. So I think the market research and business basics and the tactical campaigns or tactical things you do to grow your business, it's equal to doing your opponent research and opening game and the middle game.
Thanks a lot.
So I think that covers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thanks a lot for that comprehensive explanation and how you actually compared the game of chess with business in terms of opening as well as middle game, especially this market research. Actually, we are working hard on openings in terms of theories. So we know how it is important for us when we play, especially when it comes to planned games like nationals. So the importance of the preparation. So as you related it correctly to the market research, the importance, and also to the middle game. Thanks a lot on that. Right. So now let us turn to Samir again for a question about the end game. So it is said that we have to start with the end in mind. Yes. So I think you will explain to us how we can draw the parallels between the end game strategies and business.
Yeah. Let me explain first. Yeah, as a person, I like endgame, right? There's a very specific reason to that one. In the chess context, one thing is your king becomes an attacking piece, right? During the opening, during the middle game, you protect your king from attacks, but in game the king comes out and it becomes an attacking piece. And the second thing, and probably the more important thing, is that in endgame, you need to be very precise, right? A small mistake can punish you a lot because there are so little resources available to you, and one mistake can punish you. It's a make or break. So that's the end games situation. So I think, of course, begin with the end in mind. So this is something I learned from this book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So then that's what's one of the 7 habits that actually separate ordinary people from highly effective people. So that tells you, right, that book is a research-based book. So that is based on research on people who have been highly effective, and the same thing we learn in chess. So I think we don't have to tell anything else, just to get the point across. So that's the parallels we see. But if you really look at the business context of the same thing, so I can give you one example where this is something I actually learned from someone as well. He was an entrepreneur that I had the pleasure of working for more than a decade. He's still a friend of mine. So when he was building the business, I was selected as the person who's going to lead the technical team. So I was a leader, and eventually I became the CTO of the company as well. So what he said was, we started small, and I had some ideas that I would like to do. He said, "Samir, that's my end game. This person knows chess, right? He's from Norway. He knows chess. That's my end game." This is how business leaders think. Right. So in this particular business, we had two parts. We were building a platform. On one side, we had homeowners. On the other side, we had all the service providers who are catering, like electricians, plumbers, painters, all those kind of people, and eventually insurance companies, banks, even the Norwegian government became relevant in that part. So we were building this part, and his focus was mostly on these professionals because that's where he was comfortable. I was a bit irritated that we are not catering to the homeowners. The solution was not it was not a bigger focus. When I coined that question, he asked, "Samir, that's my end game." Right? He had that covered, but that is end game. He was preparing for that. So if you take what Dinesh said, so opening middle game is a preparation for that one. Great business leaders, they know about that. And this is something I learned. In that case, what he said was, in essence, what he did was, he created an industry as an entrepreneur. There was no business like that. This is a property technology company. There was no business like that. Everyone said, this is going to fail. You can't succeed. But he approached it in a very tactical, strategical way, very similar to chess. With his mind in the end game, he did his opening, his middle game in preparation of the end game. What he did was, he worked on these professionals, got a lot of people to provide a lot of productivity improvement solutions on that side, so that he had a lot of professionals on the professional side of the business. So things came free for the homeowners. When the focus turned to homeowner side, and he had a working business already, and the money was generated from that side. So he focused that one. Once he had the foundation laid, he started focusing on the other side, and business grew. Like, this is a business still functioning, right? From near bankruptcy, it's a publicly listed company in Norway now. So that's what you can do when you have the end game in your mind when you start something. So this is not the only example. I had countless of examples in my career as an employee and as a business owner as well. The tactical moves we have taken. So we have our end game in our mind. Our current company is very young. So we have an end game in our mind as well. But this particular thing where I spent nearly 10 years working on, I can see that his end game is being realized now. So that's how you use it in business. In my mind, has a great parallel to chess. Yeah, that covers it. Pramod, back to you.
Thank you, Samir. Yes, I think as chess players, we are really happy to hear that the businesses are even using the word endgame as they plan their business from the beginning. So it is food for thought for everyone in the audience. Thanks a lot. Now, let us come to Dinesh. So we know this SWOT analysis when it comes to business strategy. We have to identify our strengths, weaknesses, as well as opportunities and threats, and how we can use our strengths in order to find opportunities. So in terms of this, how can the principles of the SWOT analysis in business can be aligned with strategic thinking in chess?
Yeah. So before I answer the question, Pramod, let me ask Samir, what's his end game?
Yeah, so I would say this. Actually, I have some research content that I have done. The IT industry is a very inefficient industry, right? The failure rates are very, very high. So if I give you, when I started, 80% of the software products fail. That's a very high failure. So I'm working on improving that. So as a company, we will provide. This is a golden ticket if you make it happen, right? That's what I want to do.
Right. Thank you, Samir. So I think very insightful explanation on endgame, because every business leader should have a endgame, right? Either you sell the business, or how do you retire from your business? I think most of the chess players who are entrepreneurs, maybe looking at going out of the business, and business means retiring from the business and playing chess someday. So coming back to the question, Pramodya, yes, SWOT analysis is very important in business, because in marketing also we discuss. So every business should have awareness where they are right now. So SWOT analysis is very important, because in chess also, every move after move we do the same thing. Let me explain. So SWOT means you look at your strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats. So if you look at your strengths, so if you take a position, chess position, so you look at your strengths. Okay, I have a good center. I control the center. My king is castle is safe, and so my pieces are doing right. So that's a strength. So in business also, it's the same thing. You look at your people. Okay, do we have the right people to run this business, or do we need to recruit more, or do we have the right tools and the systems? So that's pretty much the same thing. And if you look at weaknesses, right? So before we make the move, we look at our weaknesses. Okay, if I have a bad king side or a weak king side, so I should bring a piece or two to safeguard the king. So something in the business. So we need to look at, okay, what are the weaknesses we have? So as business leaders, we have to we have to be aware about our weaknesses very well. Okay, where we can improve our business and what we are lacking right now. So I'll give you a business example here, because we are into a recurring business. So we charge monthly from our clients, and so we saw that there's a downtrend in recurring business, because the client retention has gone down. So we need to do something about that. So what we did, we had to implement certain actions, certain tasks to overcome that. So it's very important to understand your weaknesses in business, just like in the chess game. So next option is opportunities. You have to always, in business, you have to look for opportunities all the time, because opportunities are everywhere. So in business, we are keeping our eyes and ears open for opportunities. And in chess also, let's say if you look at a chess position, so if you have a pin opportunity, or maybe a tactical campaign, move, and if there's something, of course, we have to see that. Otherwise, we call it we made a blunder out of a position. So same thing in business. And threats. Okay, so now we have to look at the threats. Okay, let's say we are getting a 2-move checkmate on the board. So we have to keep your threats out of the way. And so in business also, we have to look at the threats, right? So we have to look at, okay, how the market is changing, and how the customer is behaving. So everything. So we have to look at the threats as well. So what we do in a chess game is we look at all these areas, move after move. So that has helped us so much to train our brain to do that in business and life. So we look at our strengths all the time and we look at the opportunities. So let's say, so how do you calculate the position? Okay, you look at your, okay, I have 2 moves, I can um, improve my king's position, or maybe I can, create a pass pawn. So that's an opportunity. Okay, so in weakness, okay, my my one piece is being attacked and I had to save that. So threats. So all of that is same in business. So we have everything like that. So it's as a business leader, it's very important to understand your strengths, weaknesses, especially weaknesses, I would say. So and address the weaknesses as a leader and give solutions and find solutions for your weaknesses in business is very important. So I think SWOT is very important in chess as well as business and life.
Yeah, Dinesh, yeah, I got a message from Pramodya. She's having some trouble with lightning and things like that. So, yeah, the question was given to me. Maybe I'll get started with my next question. So the question
Sure.
given to me is the importance of basics, how it relates, what I think about chess and how it relates to business. Okay, so if I start from my personal experiences in my life, there has been 2 instances that importance of basics was mentioned really hard, right? So there were countless of places where it was mentioned you need to be good in your basics, but that point was never stressed to a point where it goes to my head. There was only 2 places. The second one was during my MBA. I did my MBA at PIM. We have Professor Ajahn Dharmasari, he's the chairman. He talks about this, be brilliant in basics every single time. I heard 20, 30, 50 times during my 2 years there from him, right? So it goes to our head. But if you look at the first instance, I got this really stress, that was chess. In chess, this is how we start. You start from the piece movements, then some basic opening principles, right? So those are things that you should not violate. That's how we learn it. And we have seen many games. I watch some videos even today, did not stop. There are instances where world champions, top players got punished because they violated the principles. So be brilliant in basics is important. The fundamentals, basics, important. So goes to tactics, those kind of things. There are things that you learn, the basics. And for us as chess players, this is in us. When we become chess players, it doesn't need second teaching for us. So how I use this in business, I would like to actually highlight this really strongly. We had fantastic success as a company because we did this. That is the basics. It is universally applicable. It doesn't have to be business or chess. It is applicable everywhere. I'm talking about software engineering. So when we wanted to hire people, there were some tough questions, especially at the beginning when we were not known much, right? So who can we hire? Sometimes it is not the best fit in terms of the experience they have. So they might be new to the technology they are. So what we did was we hired people and we had the mandatory course that they need to do for a month before they start customers' work. So 1 month, everyone had to go through that one. And in that course, what we do is we teach them fundamentals, basics of the technology they use. Right. So this is a direct learning I had from chess, and of course that was stressed and at the MBA as well. So we covered this one, and we actually did not stop doing that. We measured the progress of that particular individual after this is gone through, because by that time we had a couple of people. Before we had this initiative, we had a couple of people hired who have not gone through that one. So the results are different as night and day. So people who had 1 month fully focused on learning fundamentals before they start any advanced series or apply those things in real life, they had a huge advantage, because what I heard from them is that when they came to our company, the understanding of the technology there was like cloudy. It is blurred, not like crystal clear. After going through the course that we had prepared, when they had time, like 1 month, like paid, they are paid their salary. They go through these fundamentals, they learn, everything became clear in their head. So now they can make smart decisions. They can learn advanced theories on top of the basics much more clearly, faster compared to others. So what we did was we actually brought that program back to the people we have hired who have not gone through that one. And we had the same success with that one as well. So whatever the area, I do this for the last 10, 15 years because I had that knowledge in my personal life as in my employment, even at the business as well, with tremendous success in terms of like stressing the importance of knowing basics before you try anything advanced or apply your knowledge in the practical world. Yeah, that covers my
Yeah.
part. Didn't you
Yeah,
have a-
thank you, Samuel. Thank you for that. Of course, so right now is a great example of how the challenges come and how we face it. So so it's a great example. This event itself is a great example of how we move forward in certain situations. So so you were talking about stress, Samira. So there's a market norm that the software engineers or the IT people get a lot of stress. So do you have this problem in your organization? So and also I have seen that you have implemented chess inside the organization. So how has that happened, and how that have helped you to manage stress inside the organization?
all right, so we are talking about the resilience, right? Is it
Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about you have implemented the game chess inside your organization, and that people look at IT industry is a very stressful environment. So uh, the game has helped your organization to manage stress, and or for your employees as well. So how the experience has been?
Yeah, so I think one thing is for clear, right? So the business IT industry is a very stressful industry. But if you know what you are doing, you can have an easier time of it. And same happens to you in chess. The amount of stress that you go through during a game, it's like if it is a classical game, it's 4 hours of there was a famous saying, I can't recall that one. Yeah. Anyway, forget about it. So how I saw this, how chess helps inside a company deal with your day-to-day challenges, the stress that you go through and things like that. What I saw, there were again tactical moves as well. Started from 99X when I was there. One of the links we have seen is that we were catering to the Norwegian market. That was our predominant market, and chess was very popular there because they had Magnus Carlsen, and general public, pretty much everyone knows about chess, and they perceive chess players as smart people, right? They make sense to them. If someone is playing chess, those are logical people for them. So if you understand your market, they really prefer. Like the moment you have the association with chess as a company, it has a benefit. So that is one of the reasons I saw. And when I spoke to the leadership of the company, they accepted, right? They accepted because I'm coming from chess background. They always supported me as a individual player. They even actually sponsored my club as well. without getting anything in return. So they always had that support to me. But when I made showed them the big picture, they of course supported. What we did was we actually organized an internal tournament. It was really popular inside the company. We sent a lot of flyers. We had one game every day. We had a couple of teams formed within the company, so we were sending the progress. So it was very popular. The rest of the company also knows what's going through, and some people come and visit. What happens? It is played in hall. So we did that. That's our first action. Second thing is we, of course, participate in external events in the form of friendly tournaments. We did friendly tournaments with Virtusa. We did with Pearson. We did once with Eternum. So there are other companies that we do friendly tournaments with. And for us, the biggest one is the Mercantile tournament. There was two. One was organized by Chess Federation from Sri Lanka. One from Mercantile Chess Association. We participated in both. So that's how we implemented chess. How it helped. I will explain you this with example. Right. So this is a genuine feedback I received from the CTO of 99X. His name is Hasit Yagavita. He knows chess as well. He participated in the internal tournaments. He came to me actually, knowing that I'm a chess coach as well. He got some lessons from me as well. He nearly won against a very strong tournament, strong player in that internal tournament as well. He said, Samira, what I see from you is that you approach your work like a chess game. The most fascinating thing about him was how I managed the team I have and how I place them in their individual roles. He said for him, it's like you are playing a chess game and placing your pieces in the optimal squares to give you the best chance to win the game. So that's what I do in the chess game. He saw the same thing in terms of placing. I had a very big team as well. So how I place people in the optimal places. Dineth, what happens is when you do that, you know that the best person is in the best place to perform the job well, right? So I think the natural effect of that one is your stress level goes down. There's no stopping that because you play smart in your setup. So this actually we conducted just coaching classes as well inside the 99X. So I had the full support, and we saw the benefit, and more and more people adopted that, and it helped us manage the company's projects way better than it used to be. So that's my take on that one.
Thank you, Samir. Thank you so much. So we all know that stress management with a game like chess, how you can get the benefit out of a game like chess. So thank you so much for that insight. So when you talk about stress, the next thing come to my mind is time management. So I'll give you some so how I used to do the time management, because and also I will speak about how time management is relevant for business as well. So time management is always about setting your goals right, because like I said in the beginning, so it's opening game, you do your business basics and then you come to the middle game. So my strategy back at the day was you have to win the game in the middle game somehow, using all these tactics. Somehow you have to win the game in the middle game. So you have a goal. Okay, you have so I have 1 hour and 30 minutes for my game, and I get 30 seconds, extra for my each and every move. So I have a plan, like to be in the middle game by this. So always I plan that, and also it's very important to understand a classical game and a blitz game and a rapid game. So those three are three different areas. And in business also, you have to understand your goals right. So if you are in the opening of the business, like start of the business, you have to understand where you should be in 2 years time and 3 years time. You should write down your goals, and most importantly, you have to educate your people, like your people in the sense your employees, about the goals. then they also act according to that. So time management is, the way I see it, is very important in chess, because if you go out of time, of course you lose the game. Same in the business. If you don't, maybe reach your goals, or maybe you can't deliver your projects or services to your client, you are going out of business. So it's very important to understand the time management, and how you can deal with it inside the business. So that's my take on that. I think you have the next question with you, Samira.
Yeah, yes, I do, Dinet. I'll move on to that one. Yeah, I'll give my take on that one. Probably Dinet would like to hear from you as well on the same topic. So this one is
Sure.
how has the chess strategy that I have learned has helped in economic turbulence. So this is something we have gone through. We all have gone through. How has it helped in the turbulence? Yeah, when I explain my story to a lot of people, this is inside the company, in all the meetings as well. I take a simple journey in our company to explain them what we have achieved. So, COSM was founded in September 2021, right? So this is in middle of COVID, probably the latter end of that one. And up to today, what we have gone through is something we have never seen, right? The economic crisis we have gone through, the instability, people leaving, those kind of things. If you forget about all those things, this is the fact of our company. We started from zero in September 2021. We have 45 people in the company now. In bit more than 2 years, we have 45 people. If you look at the IT industry, this growth is extraordinary in the normal economic condition as well. But we are not talking about normal economic condition. It was terrible for businesses at that time, especially when you talk about people leaving Sri Lanka. The IT industry was the industry that hit the hardest because a lot of people were leaving. With that also, we grew to 45 people and we had only 3 resignations, if I'm not mistaken. So this entire thing, of course, we work as a team. There are a lot of intelligent people behind this success. But for me, as an individual contributor to that success, chess has definitely helped. Yeah, let me explain some of those things. One thing I see is, chess is a very big subject, right? So there are some psychological things, not some, actually most of the psychological things involved in chess as well. So one of the really good chess books that I have referred is called Imagination in Chess. So this book is about the thinking patterns. It starts with something called progressive thinking and it stops. There are like, I think, 7 thinking patterns. You can master those. The pinnacle of that one is called imagination. How that happen is that you take a chess position, right? You look at your situation. Then you imagine a position where actually you have a huge advantage. You convert what you have in your mind to a winning position. Just imagination. You don't know how to get there, but you imagine your winning position. Once you imagine your winning position, you work backwards to achieve that position. So this is what called imagination in chess. So for me, this is what I did in the turbulence, right? So you have all the factors that is working against you. But if you look at or consider all the challenges in your head, you can imagine, okay, if I am in this position, I can win. If I draw the same power solution example back, Dinet, what happened was, we were of course studying what the industry is doing. There was a lot of solutions. The most popular one was most of the companies were giving a big battery bank where you can charge your laptop. So essentially in the IT industry, you have a secondary monitor as well. That monitor is required for you to be productive. So that was not considered by the most companies. And we are living in Sri Lanka. It's extremely warm and humid, right? You cannot be productive without a fan like that. So those kind of details were missed. So for me, when I articulated the imagination, the position I wanted to be in, I started with that. I said, we are a company that is promoting work-life balance. We are promising these things to our people. So I want to be in that situation, even in the middle of this crisis. How can we get there? So we work backwards to achieve that. So that's how we came up with this really good power solution we gave to all the employees we had. So that can power their extra monitor, their IT, the Wi-Fi router, their fan for minimum 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. That means they can get through the day in between their power cuts, even at the peak of the power cuts, without any problem. So this is how it helped me in the economic turbulence. I applied this every challenge we got. Right? This is how we build the company and help me succeed in this. In the interest of the time, I'll probably stop here. I had more examples that I would like to give, given that we started a bit late and there are things going. Yeah, but this is great example, right?
Yeah, that's where I want to start as well. So because this is a great example of what we are going through right now in business. So nationwide power outage, we lost the host, and still we are going on, right? So that's how you deal with problems as chess players. So I think so economic crisis is a great opportunity for us. Why I say great opportunity, because how we pivoted our company, Transcode Digital, is it's a great story, because our company slogan is move forward, something related to do with chess as well. So maybe I put it because of chess. So when the economic crisis happened in 2022, so May and June, so we had all these problems, like you said, the electricity, the fuel, so much of problems, and also we lost like a lot of clients, because we were dealing with local clients mainly, and we lost a lot of clients, and so we had to find a way to run the company, how to to survive the company, to survive in the market. We had to do something. So we pivoted back. So we pivoted into the foreign market for our services, and so it's been almost 1 year right now, and we have been doing really well in the market. So that's because of we pivoted back to a different market. So I think that's a great example of how you deal with problems. Solutions are there. So as chess players, chess has helped us to activate certain parts of our brains. I think so. That's why we are, dealing with all these problems in a very positive mindset. And so in life also, what I want to share with everyone is, you get all these problems, but there's a solution somewhere. So find that solution and use your, chess brain. So if you are a chess player, of course, be creative, be innovative, like Samir said. So the battery backup systems, extra monitors, and employee management and dollar peg salaries to keep employees leaving out of the country or the company. So there are solutions. I think as business leaders, we have to look for solutions, and chess has helped us to find solutions fast. So that is also, you had to mention that also, that is also connected to time management, because we had no time to pivot into a foreign market very quickly, but somehow we managed to do it, and we are really proud of that, and grateful for chess as well. So that is my take on that. Yes, we got delayed in starting this program. I think so. I think since Pramod is not there, Samira, how do you want to continue this?
Yeah, I think Pramod is back. Hello, Pramod.
Okay.
Welcome.
Hello. Yes. Sorry for that. I'm back. I think I'm on time. Right. Thank you for continuing the discussion. And yes, now it is the time for discuss on the key takeaways from both of you for the audience, and then we will open up for a small Q&A session. Yes, so we would like to go with Samira first.
Yeah, I think Dinesh has covered his key takeaways already, if I'm not mistaken, Dinesh, so maybe it's my...
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I will stress on a couple of things that I really want to get across, right? That I consider this as an opportunity for me to put some ideas I had in my head onto a large audience. I have been doing this with mostly small audiences, but now the option is there. Let me go ahead and do that. The first thing is chess is a very big subject, right? So if you consider other subjects, complicated subjects, say chemistry, physics, or maths, or anything like that, I think chess is as large as those things, probably even more. Right? But the good thing about it is that you don't have any age restrictions, right? You can start at any age. That's the beauty of chess. And the second thing is that you can decide how serious you are going to take. You can play for fun. You can be very serious, aiming for the world championships. So that's our personal decisions. Irrespective of what we decide, it helps in your personal life, right? Like any other sport, in the sporting aspect, as well as the chess essence aspect. So it helps you as a sport. Any benefit you get from other sports, you get it. And chess has its unique things inside, which definitely helps you in your decision making. In your corporate life, probably it's in your personal life as well. So that's what I believe. The first point I want to get across. The second one is the relevancy of education and chess. The relevancy of chess to education is well accepted. I think there's an initiative going with the World Chess Federation now, chess in school. Some schools, they do chess as a subject as well. So this is testimony. I think we don't have to discuss more on that one. It is already established. But I believe we from this initiative help to get some points across to people to explain the relevancy in your career success if you are an employee, or the business success if you are a owner of a business. So it's valid at every level. If you use it in your practical life, it will definitely give you good results. There's greater parallels between the chess and your corporate life or the business. That's the second point I want to get across. The third and the last one, I covered this already. The benefits, the more general benefits people perceive from a sport or a game, like building leadership, personal growth you have, and teamwork, those kind of things, which helps you naturally in the corporate setup. That's what men and women gets at the corporates. This is why those people are preferred as well, rather than the education focus. People who have played a sport or played a game, they are preferred in the corporate setup because of that. That is there in chess as well. So at large, you can use chess because it is calculations, it is tactics, strategies. This is what you want in any place. So that is there in chess, and it is taught to you, and that can be applicable in any part of your life. Yep, that's what I want to get across. Back to you from there.
Yes, thanks a lot, Samira, and also thanks a lot, Dinesh, for sharing the ideas on the key takeaways. And as we have opened up for Q&As, we have one question from the audience, that is to how we could handle businesses, as well as how can we take decisions under pressure. So how has chess helped us in terms of taking decisions under pressure? So if this was not mainly covered, if yes, Samira or Dinesh, if you could explain a bit on this.
Yeah, I'll have a crack of that one first. From there, I think one thing we can discuss is there's a subject called chess psychology, right? As part of chess, when you go higher in your chess career, it is taught you the chess psychology. One thing we learn is, I think some people find it hard to get over, but some people do it efficiently, but it is taught nonetheless. Is, let's say you make a blunder in your game, right? You lost a piece or something like that. So from that point of onwards, you can make many decisions. Some of the possibilities, you can continue to worry about the mistake you have done, which will not do any good to your game for the rest of the game. Or you can just resign, right? You made a mistake, you can't make your mind, you resign, and your game is lost, you walk away. That's another option. Third, you leave your mistake behind, you have a new situation, you can prepare yourself to face the new situation. Of course, you are one piece less than your opponent, but your goal is to win. So you are at a disadvantage, you can still press forward to win. So that's pressure. As chess players, we go through this, right? It's 4 hours of constant pressure, right? Different things thrown at you at different. Sometimes you get surprised by your opponent's moves, right? You need to reset yourself and you need to start over. But when you make a mistake, that's probably the worst. So that's what is taught to us, right? This is, as a person, this is what I do in my business as well. You have setbacks. There are things that is not in your control as well. Sometimes you make the mistake by yourself. Sometimes it is in the environment that you can't control. So that's how the stress comes to you. But what I have learned from this is that when something happened, the past is past, right? You can't control that one. Reset yourself. Consider the new situation. Get yourself reorganized along with your team, with your company, and face it. That's it. So for me, it's as simple as that.
Thanks a lot, Samir. So as the one last question, I think we can move on to Dinesh. This is also from the audience. The importance of having plan B. So I think we are actually practicing this in chess because all the time our opponents may be giving surprises for us. And also it is not just one variation that we have to calculate. Yes. So how we can relate it to business as well, the importance of plan B.
Yeah, so it's always, the plan B is very important aspect of, having something like that in business as well. So let's say you are preparing for an opponent from Candy, like I said in the beginning. So you are preparing yourself, for a D4 move or a knight F3 move, but your opponent comes and play E4. So what are you going to do? So I think this is something connected to what Samira also just shared. I think your opponent can surprise you, and your business can surprise you as well. So sometimes the things we control, and sometimes from the things we can't control. So you have to be prepared for everything, and also plan B is always as chess players. I think we always, look at plan B, and we have some other options because, we always, that's what we do on the board. So you look for other options. Okay, this is the best move, but this is the second best move. And also maybe, looking at your opponent and business threats. So you should always have your plan B ready. And right now, of course, I think in our business also, we have, that's why businesses, diversify their business and, get other areas into their business area because of they have, having a plan B always helps you in business, and also it's the same thing as playing a chess game.
Yeah, Pramod, allow me to add one more thing to that one, expand on what Dinesh said. Actually, I have one example that we practically did in the company. So when we face the crisis, of course, that is new for all of us, right? There's no fuel, people can't travel, we have the power cuts. Something we have not seen. So as a business, there's this management theory that we see, a technique called scenario planning. You need to plan your scenarios, right? Again, for me, scenario planning is nothing new, right? That's a fancy word of what we do every day when we play chess, right? That's our decision tree. We prepare for all the possible outcomes that we can think of. Still, you can have surprises, but you need to be prepared for that. But you plan as much as you can. So with scenario planning, this is what we have done. So we had the best case, most likely case, and the worst case scenarios plan, which actually tremendously helped us dealing with the crisis. So I see a direct contribution from chess in doing that effectively, to be honest. So having plan B, we had a plan B and a C in our hand to make sure that we can fall back to it if something goes wrong with the plan A.
Yes, thanks a lot, Samir and Dinesh. Yes, and thank you for bringing that scenario planning aspect also in. Yes, so now we will wind up with the questions, and let me just a bit summarize on what we have been discussing throughout. So initially we discussed chess as a sport in terms of leadership, teamwork, as well as personal development, and then we moved on to chess as a combination of calculations as well as tactics and the strategies that we use in opening, middle game, and end game, how we relate it to business. And then we moved on to SWOT analysis in chess, and also the brilliance in basics as well as time management and the resilience and adaptability. So then our speakers talked about the strategies we can use. It means chess strategies we can make use of these economic environment, especially this crisis situation. And then also we could touch on with the feedback of the audience about scenario planning, as well as taking decisions under pressure. So I think all in all, it was a great session with these great two speakers. And I think we are on time because we started like 15 minutes late, and then we are just 5 minutes also more to cover up the 1.5 hours. So this time management also, I think we could practice, although we had to experience several issues like the power issue, and also it was like really thundering and lightning here. So certain issues were there, but still as chess players, we have to take up those challenges. And this is what makes us really adaptable to the situations and make great business leaders. So with that, we can wrap up the session. So a big thank you to our speakers, our speaker one, Mr. Samira Gunasinghe. Thanks a lot for taking 1.5 hours of your time out, and also in the initial stages, even the preparation stages and so on. Thanks a lot for that commitment displayed. And also Mr. Dinesh Silva, thanks a lot for those involvement and the suggestions given. And I think a very big thank you should be given to two people who have been behind the scene. I'm not sure. I think Malik is not here at the moment. So as soon as I suggested this series about chess and business strategy, our Vice President Media, Mr. Malik Kalanka, so he came forward and he supported us throughout, because actually throughout in making all these flyers and coordinating everything. And also Vashini Chamitri, who is a member of the Media Commission as well as the Women's Commission, a very energetic member of the Chess Federation of Sri Lanka. Thank you very much, Vashini, for all the commitment. And also thanks a lot, Chess Federation, for giving us this opportunity. And this is just the beginning that we start with the first webinar, and we are planning to continue. And we are planning to have a grand event as a physical event with all of you and also business leaders, where we try to position our game in the corporate sector. And as we know that there are so many parallels between chess and business strategy. So as people who have benefited from the game, starting from school days and everyone up until the professional sector. So we have a sense of attitude of giving back. So this was displayed, and thank you very much for the speakers in giving back to the chess community, and hope the audience also got a lot of insights from the speakers, and hope you will apply those in the practical scenarios of your personal lives as well as professional lives. And as you move up in the career, and also help your organizations to grow with the strategies and the experience that you have in chess. And with that note, we will conclude the session. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and have a good night and stay safe.
Thanks, everyone. Sure. Bye-bye.